Two fine ladies from Texas and Tennessee, crushing on movie stars and people on TV. Abstract concepts, authors and philosophers too. A fuck, marry, kill, they gonna lay it out for you. Hot minute, hot minute, hot minute. Turn on your podcast machine and let it ride. Hot minute, hot minute, hot minute. Kick off your Crocs and come on inside. You don't have to pay. I download a stream, I rate a T for team.
Oh, that was so good. What an honor.
I mean, I feel like that bears no introduction. That was clearly Tracy Walnut.
Tracy Walnut's new theme song for us. I'm so like, it's like, I'm honestly blushing right now. Like,
I'm
honestly, like as a
Tracy Walnut. I don't even feel like we need to explain who this is.
Yeah, I mean, Tracy is Tracy.
Had the Raspberry Squeeze in the 90s. The big hit.
We live like, you know, we're based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and it's just like we anyone can submit a theme song. Like we say this every single episode. Anyone can do it. We would love it if you did it, friends, too, like Tracy Walnut did.
We walk amongst giants. Clearly. Tracy right now is out in Branson, just doing his thing.
Yeah,
He's been
Branson
out there.
residency.
I hope he comes down here soon. I'd love to see him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Ashley.
This is Hot Minute, podcast where we talk about who's hot
and why.
And you know, we get off track, but that's fun.
It's so much fun. It's fun. We're friends.
We're just clowning
having
and
fun.
Grab assing. If you want to
tickling.
Gross.
Just
rubbing a nubbin.
In there, yeah. Rubbing a nubbin, flicking some nips and like
just gnawing on a bean.
Sucking on toes over here.
Just dipping a pickle. If you want to submit a theme song, you can text us at 240-823-4688. If you got a rotary phone, can't text on it. But that's 240-TAD HOTT HOTT minute.com. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the places.
All the internet.
We're streaming everywhere.
Oh my God.
So Ashley.
Yes, Jamie.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Who you crushing on?
I'm so glad you asked. I'm crushing on like a real human being.
Okay.
This week I'm very excited. I'm crushing on a new artist by the name of Tierra.
Do tell me
Tierra, last name WHACK.
Like that's whack.
Like but like she's super cool, and apparently she was all over the blogs like last spring, and I missed it. Whatever. But she's a rapper and she's a singer, and interestingly and importantly to me is she's also like a visual artist. And one cool thing she did, she released a record, I guess, last year, and it was called Whack World. Every song was a minute. Every song was 1 minute long. There were 15 songs, and she released a 15-minute music video for like 1 minute video for every song. And it's just like weird visuals and like cool stuff and like good lighting and good costumes and just like really like creepy. And she's one of those people. It's like she's a capital A artist. It's clear to me. Clear. Yeah.
Is it kind of like, I haven't heard her, and now I want to, and I want to consume this media. Is she like kind of like FKA Twigs a little bit?
I haven't really listened to her. No, she's more. She did like she's from, I think, Philadelphia. I don't know. And I found a video of her when she was like 15 years old, like freestyling.
So she's been at it.
Yeah. Someone has given her money at some point because this video like had a budget, pretty clearly, but it's just really good. There's this one song, it's called like "Fuck Off," and it's kind of a country western theme. It's kind of got like a Tracy Walnut vibe. I was gonna say, yeah. So
when Tracy dropped the F-bomb, I was like, dang,
I know, right? But
it's the 21st century.
Check her out. If you like music and cool shit,
I do.
Cool. Hey, Jamie.
Yes,
I got a question for you.
What could it be?
Who are you crushing on?
It's a what? Oh. Well, it's a what containing a lot of who's. It is
your mama. I'm sorry.
Shit. No, but you know what? There's a lot of themes. There's a lot of maternal themes in this, and it's a TV show on Hulu called Harlots.
Go on.
I love the show Harlots. Really drug me in. It stars Samantha Morton. who was the precog in Minority Report. That's what I knew her as. But now she's filled out a little bit. She's got an ample bosom.
A grown woman.
And she plays just a street-hardened harlot. Madam.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it the olden days?
Oh, it's like the 17th century. So it's great. It's totally a nighttime soap, but with like a good director, a budget, and like good actors. But like the plot, it's one of those where it's cast like a prestige television show. Like one of the main actresses whose name I cannot remember, it doesn't matter, who's the prettiest harlot. prettiestharlot.com. She was on like Downton Abbey, which I never watched.
Okay.
But she and Samantha Morton and like just all the like the rival wench.
Rival wench is really good. That's a really good turn of phrase.
They're all clearly like very talented actors. Also, it's produced and written and usually directed by women. So while it's about prostitutes in like the 17th century, like it's
Leslie Manville is in this. I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's excellent in it. So the acting is very good. The plot though is very nighttime soapy, and I realized
it's about like whores.
It's about whores. But I realized this when I really wanted to eat some popcorn, but not in bed. So I was like, Brad, can I watch this on the couch? And he was like, sure, watch your program. And I put it on, and of course he was not, quote unquote, not paying attention. 2 minutes in, he's like, who's that? What are they doing? Why are they mad? And so I was like, oh my God, okay. Well, so she was a slave, but then she married this man and he moved here. Well, it's okay. So he's in love with Samantha Morton. Now he's dead. Well, now the children are getting taken away. Oh. Okay. And then that is the rival madam. Now she used to be Samantha Morton's madam. Like, and
this is like, and there's only what, like 6 episodes of this?
Right. Yeah. So I started like explaining it, and it was so complicated and so soapy. And I was like, oh yeah, she's pregnant, but we don't know that she's They don't know she's pregnant. Oh, he's the constable. And I was like, oh, there's there's like a constable. The magistrate is up to no good. You would love it.
I can't believe I haven't watched this yet.
Yeah.
This is like so up my alley.
It's so up your alley.
Do they say that? Like, that's right up my alley.
Oi. Yeah. And it's vulgar, of course, and it's on Hulu. It's a Hulu original, so there's some nudity and stuff, but all the sex, even when it's graphic, is grotesque, and I love it. Like, it's all because it's women making it, and they're like,
is there a penis? Is there full peen?
You know, there's no full peen, but there is one really attractive Irish guy in it.
Okay.
You get to see his abs. He's a male harlot, and he falls in love with the main harlot, and now
life has got to be hard for these people.
It is hard out there for a madam.
Oh, wow.
But we're just having fun. We're having a lot of fun. Anyway, I love that show. Can't remember a single other actor that's in it, but
good crush.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Fun costumes.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess so. That really brings us to this week's theme. And so back in the summertime, we sat down and we, unlike last season, we're like, let's plan.
We sketched out some good ideas.
Let's try. Yeah. And so we sat down and we came up with like pretty much everything you've heard thus far. And then one of us at some point said, when animals attack.
This is my favorite.
And then we laughed. And then we were like, no, we have to do that. And so we, 4 glasses of wine. That's such a funny show. We never thought about it again. Quite frankly, barely thought about it today. So we're totally prepped and ready to talk about the sexiest animal attacks.
Our favorite animal attacks of all time. The hottest like gorings, the hottest like bites, the hottest like rippings, the shreddings,
some result
the poisonings.
Poisonings. Some result in death. Some just result in constant maiming.
All of them result in fame. And that's the important thing to remember.
Exactly. And that's the hottest quality of all. So to kind of kick it off, I don't know. I don't want to come out swinging too hard. Let me go through. I kind of want to get you going first.
Okay. I'll just start. My favorite animal attack
of all time.
I don't even have to think about it, is when the goose hit Fabio in the face. It is one of the most iconic moments of just my life. It's very formative. And I don't know if you guys have seen the clip. Fabio's on a roller coaster.
He's at Busch Gardens.
There's a bunch of like models dressed up like Greek goddesses on this roller coaster with him. And he's out there, and I'll be damned if a poor goose just doesn't like smack that man in the face. One of God's, majestic creatures died in that horrible instance. What he gave us, like what his sacrifice gave us, was the roller coaster pulling back in to the depot, and Fabio holding his bloody face with just this look of utter horror and confusion and shock, and these like poor models like
covered in viscera,
like flowing out of his nose, like he's just gushing blood.
He got injured.
Like
he
it
broke his
fucked up
nose.
his face.
Yeah.
I mean, a goose is not like a goose weighs more than like 4 ounces. You know, like this was many pounds of bird hitting him. Like
it was like a Snickers somebody threw.
But what makes it super, super funny is that Fabio is a model. I mean, that's why it's so good. It's,
and he's like,
if Fabio was like a singer, or if he was just like an actor, it's like, oh, that was a weird thing that happened.
Like if that happened to Alan Thicke, I would be sad.
It would be a weird thing, but it's like specifically someone who's like bread and I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah,
was like got his face fucked up by a goose is just so. I love
we
it.
didn't plan that.
He didn't die, you know.
No.
He didn't. I don't.
There are.
Plasty,
I do want to go ahead and say that in the sexiest animal attacks, we will talk about fatalities.
Yeah,
and it doesn't mean that we think that death is inherently sexy.
We're not French.
It's c'est la mort. But it's fun. It can be fun. I think there's a lot.
Especially if you're playing with animals, you know? It's like...
There's a lot of drama.
That's one of my favorite things about playing with my dog is the knowledge that, like, at any point she could rip out my throat if she wanted to.
So my favorite animal attack, and I have several. Probably my favorite one is when Charlotte Nash, the next-door neighbor of the woman who owned Travis the chimp, who had multiple times visiting her neighbor, had been like, hey, I would feel more comfortable if he were in a cage. And so everyone says that the woman who owned Travis, she's since passed on, that she and Travis were closer than a married couple.
That's interesting.
Travis wore full.
That's an interesting thing to say about a chimpanzee.
Travis wore a full outfit of clothes every day. Travis also was in several commercials with Morgan Fairchild.
The Morgan Fairchild?
The Morgan Fairchild. He was in some Old Navy commercials. My favorite thing is that he was in a TV pilot with Michael Moore and Sheryl Crow.
So, okay, you mentioned this earlier, and I never got a chance to ask, like, did you find out like, what kind of pilot was this? Was this, I think
it was a talk show, but my favorite thing about on Wikipedia, the citation just says dubious citation.
I'm like fucking up the microphone. That was really funny. Okay.
So Travis,
Michael Moore now.
Yeah. He's like, he's the penguin.
Travis.
Oswald Cobblepot. So Charlotte Nash goes next door. She's probably like trying to borrow some. I can't believe it's not butter. The chimp just immediately jumps on her and attacks her, eats her entire face and both of her hands.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
She does not have hands.
Jesus.
She's since recently got a facial transplant. I do not think any of that is sexy. That is absolutely horrible. I remember, I didn't even have to look this up to remember. I remember the detail was that her hand looked like it had been put into a meat grinder. He just and he wasn't on her that long. He was put down by the police. And the only thing that I say about Charlotte Nash, super brave. I used to have a joke with our lawyer, Brooks, that if I ever had a TV show, which comes full circle, I'd want my Andy Richter to be Charlotte Nash because I think she would bring a lot to every conversation.
Without a doubt.
And also, like, I would let her do whatever the fuck she wanted.
I mean,
every show would devolve into her. Like, she just could sit on the ground and, like, play with blocks. I don't care. She could throw a dart at me in the face. I would let her.
Weighs?
Yes.
Like, it's
they have more. They have more strength that, like, it's like a man times 3.
Have you seen like a shaved chimpanzee? Because they are muscular.
I'm looking at one
you have ever seen before in your life. You would fuck this. Like, hang on, shaved chimpanzee.
I've seen Joe Rogan.
Boom.
So yeah, pull up that shaved chimp.
It's just like this when they're muscular. I mean, they can fuck you up.
So this picture that she just produced. It looks like a gymnast, like a Russian gymnast. Like, that's like
I'll save
Blaine Wilson from
I'll make sure.
Yeah, and I will say, too, save the photo. One thing I would like to point out is that his scrotum is enormous.
It's as long as the palm of his hand, it seems like.
So Question. Is the long scrotum on the chimpanzee, did they shave that one to show it off, or do they all look like that?
You know, I'm not an expert on chimp scrotums myself. I don't work in any sort of like animal environment.
Well, should have said that at the top of the show. That's why I had this topic. Anyway. Well.
Good stuff.
So, moving on. I've got quite a list here. So I'll keep going. So those are our favorites. And so now we're just gonna get on into the classics. One of my other favorites that did not end in an injury or death that we talked about before is Sharon Stone's ex-husband, Phil Bronstein.
I love that one.
So the story is, and I looked this up, this is great. In 2001, Bronstein was attacked by a Komodo dragon at the Los Angeles Zoo. He was on a private tour, and a keeper had invited him into the enclosure. Bronstein was bit on his bare foot, as the keeper had told him to take off his white socks, which the keeper stated could excite the Komodo dragon as they were the same color as the white rats. So the keeper was like, take off your white shoes and socks because it will excite the dragon. So he walked in fucking barefoot, and immediately the Komodo dragon like almost bit the guy's whole foot off.
That is... First of all, I can't believe that was in 2001. I can't believe I've remembered this for 17 fucking years.
I think I remember where I was. I was like at Walmart probably.
Because Komodo dragons, the one thing you know about them is like their spit is really dangerous. It's like they're basically poisonous.
Yes,
yeah.
The bacteria in their mouth is so dangerous because they eat just like carrion and like dead shit and like rotten meat. Like they like to eat rotten food, and so their mouth.
And so Bronstein was like, I gotta get in there and see this like liven up close.
Yeah, exactly. I like to think that they were like something else was going on, like they were fighting them or something.
Was Sharon there? Was that a part of the story?
I think Sharon was there.
You don't think they just let him back there on his? I swear to God, I'm Sharon Stone's husband.
I drive a Daihatsu. Let me in here. Did Flynn? He has a Pulitzer Prize, so I guess he like
who's laughing now?
He like brought down Ferdinand Marcos or something. I don't know. I haven't seen his coochie though. I know that. But yeah, he needed to have several tendons on his foot reattached surgically.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I don't know how many you have, but I imagine that's most of them.
A chimp or Komodo dragon?
Ooh,
Komodo dragon probably weighs.
I wish
more
we
than
had like an expert that was like an expert around
like an animal,
like animal husbandry of some sort, or like specifically reptiles. Because I would imagine a Komodo dragon's a reptile.
Let me Google that
it's a
real
small
quick.
mammal.
Yeah.
They have them at... Oh, was that you? Are you okay?
What was that?
Hold on. Oh my... Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Oh my
Whoa.
God. Oh my God.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
This is such a...
How's it going?
Okay.
So, going really good. Wow.
Michael, this is crazy. Okay, so...
I'm like so embarrassed right now.
Thank you for coming. So we have a guest.
Apparently so.
Apparently. Ladies and gentlemen, Tracy Walnut.
Thank you so
Hi, my name's Tracy Walnut.
Tracy, thank you so much. Like, oh my God, I'm just like in awe. What have you been up to?
Y'all are crazy. Can I just start out and say that y'all are crazy? I mean, I've worked with Phyllis Diller, and she got nothing on y'all.
Oh, Tracy, what?
Y'all are crazy.
You're making me blush.
I'm like crushing on Tracy Walnut.
Oh man,
Holy
amen.
crap!
So
Amen.
I'm up here shopping some songs, and my step niece listens to y'all's show. And let me tell you,
name?
she is rude.
Oh.
But
Well, I'm trying to
she's
be
real
less
smart.
cussing.
Kind of reminds me, just y'all are crazy. But anyway,
What's your stepniece's name? We'd love to give her a shout out.
her name's Belinda.
Belinda.
Belinda, thank
Belinda
you for
Walnut,
listening.
thank you.
It's well, she's my stepniece, so it's
yes,
not
yes.
Walnut. But anyway,
Acorn.
Belinda Acorn. Pecan.
Anyways, I'm up here and shopping some songs, and I heard you mention something about you needed a reptile expert.
Do you know anything about reptiles?
Well, first of all, let's get out of the way. I'm Tracy Walnut. Y'all may or may not remember me. You dip down, turn around, and bend your knees. Everybody do the raspberry squeeze.
Oh, classic. Classic.
You know,
It just takes me back to all those junior high dances. Like,
people ask me if I get tired of that, and then I show my bank statement.
that mailbox money, Tracy.
Yeah.
Holy
But anyways,
That song has been really good to us for 20-something years, and we've had fun with it. And,
blessings on blessings.
It's been good to us.
We've kind of parlayed that into a fairly successful Branson show. It's a Christmas show. It's called Tracy's Country Christmas.
That's awesome.
And the reason why, Tracy Lawrence has Country Christmas with a C. And Tracy Bird has Country Christmas with a K.
Oh.
So I figured with a T and country.
Yeah.
That's all you.
That's me.
For Tracy, that's you.
That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
Do you have, is the logo, maybe do you do anything with, a cross or?
Well, it is a religious show. Christmas, it is.
Yeah.
We try not to hit people over the head with it because you got a lot of, Japanese visitors. All kinds of... People don't realize it, but Branson is a melting pot in its own way. So we, it's present. We have a very moving nativity scene kind of at the third act, around the fourth hour. And it's
fourth hour, wow.
It's a powerful show, but we don't hit people
beautiful.
over the head with it.
Yeah.
So how far in advance, if you wanted to get tickets to see Tracy's Country
how do we
Christmas?
get to this?
Yeah.
Well, we do 4 shows a day, so usually it's pretty easy to get in. Now, the matinee shows are the harder ones to get in because most people there, getting their dinners at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might want to go to either the sunrise service.
Sunrise service. Okay.
That's awesome.
Or we do a midnight and
Midnight mass.
So you guys are performing from sunrise to midnight every day?
And the matinee.
It's just Tuesdays though.
It's
just Tuesdays
from
because
sunrise?
we share the theater. It's actually Donna Mandrell's theater.
Okay.
Donna Mandrell?
Yes.
She's got to take a day off.
She's the oldest Mandrell, surprisingly.
Wow. How old is Donna?
She's 86, but she
is still going.
Still going and
6 days a week for Donna.
She's a real talent, but
Does she ever do anything on the show? Is
she Mary?
Well,
now who does play Mary?
Well, that's the funny thing. I kind of do both roles.
Both roles meaning Mary and Jesus? Or Jesus and God? Or the animals and the wise men?
It depends. It's a rotating cast. Mm-hmm. We sort of share staff and cast. What people don't understand about Branson is it's, everybody kind of pitches in. Everybody's kind of working around. So
Yakov Smirnoff.
I love that kind of community. I love that kind of community support. That sounds like a beautiful thing.
So I've done it all. I really have. And
sounds like it.
And we sneak raspberry crawl in there because that's a crowd pleaser. I mean, you got to let people know who you are. These people that don't want to tour on their hits, I just don't understand.
I just don't get it. Now, how long are you out? Is this like a year-round thing?
It's a 6-month show.
Okay.
Okay.
We go from about June to February. Now, we started doing, we used to end it at Christmas, but then we just added on the Epiphany season.
Yeah.
12 more days.
Yeah.
And so, let's just round it out and do January. And then...
Is there dinner in the Donna Mandrell Theater?
It is a dinner show, yes.
Mm-hmm. Do y'all do like a low carb for January or
Well,
keto?
if you get the lunch show, you're getting sandwiches. Because we can't do just the kitchen staff. We can't do a full dinner every day.
Yeah, and so what do you do in the off season then? If you're not,
Well, and that's why I'm here. I heard y'all mentioning wanting to know animal experts. I work at Gatorland Zoo. So
in the summer year,
in the summer
months.
in the
my
summer,
God, I had no idea.
I sort of round up and train the alligators.
Round them up. Just from
they?
sewers and whatnot,
Yards.
Yeah, I mean, Florida is rife with alligators. They're just there. And so, we've got, it's kind of like Branson. We've got a rotating cast of alligators. We're always on the look for the biggest.
Yeah.
Now, the meanest.
Is this like a nature preserve? Is this a show? Do they do any kind
It's
of
a
act?
little bit of both.
Yeah.
There's some conservation involved for sure. There's awareness for sure.
Gator awareness.
I
think everyone in Florida is aware.
with alligators being a clear and present danger, to borrow a term. people need to be aware of how to handle them, especially in the Florida area. So
Yeah.
I sort of teach them, if you see one, to lay on one and cover their eyes. And
Do you ever sing or do anything
the thing
like
about
that?
an alligator is pretty much everything you've seen on TV is true.
Oh,
Pretty much all
interesting.
true.
Wow.
So what we know, the bird sitting on the mouth, and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
The movie All Dogs Go to Heaven, there's a big gator who lives in the sewer, and he, I believe, hoards gold or something. Is that
There's-
his
Well,
thing?
they do like shiny materials. I can't speak to gold.
There's one. I think that's the main villain in Princess and the Frog. That's set in Louisiana, though. Those might be a different.
Yes. No,
Species.
Yes, those are.
Those are different.
That's a slashback.
A Louisiana slashback. Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
one last thing. Florida, I've heard that boa constrictors are an invasive species. Have y'all ever had to encounter any of those?
We do have, well, Gatorland, we cater to a lot of different reptiles. We do have some boas. People get boas and pythons confused. I get them confused.
Well, this is just your passion. You're not necessarily trained.
That's true. See, sometimes people will see me down there and say, Tracy, what are you doing down here? You're a country music star, and this has always been a passion project of mine. It's something that I got into long before music or any that kind of stuff. So.
Thank you for sharing your passion
This is
with us. Seriously,
such an
such an
honor.
honor, really, truly.
So
appreciate it.
So bring it back to Komodo Dragon. Do you have any of those down there? Or?
We do have some of those down there. We take in a lot of these dragons that have been on TV.
Yeah.
When they hit a post-pubescent state, they become very agitated, and
Well, they're just not sexy anymore.
there's a lot of agitated animals at Gatorland.
Oh Lord. How do you guys handle safety protocols on the farm?
There's a lot of agitated animals.
I mean, it sounds kind
kinda
of
like-
dangerous.
it's kinda
Are
like-
there specialized tools
Well,
that you
right.
use?
It's
Yeah.
kind of like bees. You blow smoke in their face.
Yeah. That makes so. Do reptiles and insects have a lot in common that way in terms of handling them safely?
Yeah, you want to wear gloves.
Yeah.
Okay. So you talked about, I feel like, it's no secret if you listen to this podcast, Ashley and I are not religious.
Not so much.
Not so much. Maybe spiritual. I have some crystals. But as we move on, another really famous victim, if you will, honestly, probably one of the sexiest on the list is Bethany Hamilton, a.k.a. Soul Surfer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm familiar.
The Hawaiian surfer got her arm ripped off by a shark. Is strong in her faith. Do you have any thoughts about that incident?
Well,
or
if
Bethany?
I had to pick an attack on myself, I believe shark would be the first pick. For
Really?
me. It's a clean cut.
Is it though?
Let me
Really?
tell you, an alligator or a caiman, they're going to grab on, and they're going to rip and they're going to tear, and that's their method. Now, a shark is a clean cut,
Clean cut.
and so.
So they literally they're chompers, kind of.
Right.
Okay, interesting.
That's beautiful.
Do you have a lot of sharks down there in Florida?
There's some. We usually, of course, I'm right there in the center. I'm right there in Orlando. And
Okay.
Usually we'll do Daytona. We do the Gulf side. It's not so much in the Gulf as it is the Atlantic side. So I'm sorry. I don't mean Daytona. I mean oh shoot, what am I thinking about?
Pensacola?
Tampa.
Okay.
Tampa.
Daytona is the Atlantic
Just one in
side.
30A.
Right.
It's a big state.
Right.
There's a lot of towns.
So, bringing down to Florida, she was in Dolphin Tale 2 down there in Clearwater. Were you anywhere close to that production back in
I was not.
2013?
I have done I've done some shows in Branson. Again, with Branson, it's kind of rotating cast. You see all kinds of people,
all the people.
all stripes of people of any kind of entertainment. And I didn't meet this particular young lady, but I did know there's a lady who had been attacked by. She said it was a beaver.
That's rough.
Just one beaver?
One beaver. It didn't take her arm off, but it left an indention, and she's got a really powerful story. That's really
And it's in
inspirational.
Branson.
Oh, I bet.
And she'll. Every night it brings people to their knees. It's a touching. She's got a
We got a
really...
road trip to Branson.
I've got to get
man.
up there. I got to get up there. That sounds powerful.
Yeah, no, that's a later show. That's probably a 5:30 show.
Okay.
So,
For the adults, it sounds like
be a little too
could be
scary.
some
Yeah,
themes in it. Like
I wouldn't
yeah.
bring the kids to that one. 'Cause
All right.
it's,
And don't wear any wooden jewelry.
Oh, y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy.
Okay, well that was good. Yeah, she's beautiful. Homeschooled, good for her. Hold on, she was in an episode entitled "Duggars Under the Sea" of 19 Kids and Counting.
Oh,
Filmed in
I love
Atlanta.
those Duggars.
Filmed in Atlanta. They're sweet. Haven't any of them ever been out to see y'all? I bet.
Which one's the one that's in jail?
Josh,
Yeah.
Jarissa.
Charissa, Jericho.
Yeah, I met him. That's an unfortunate story. It really is.
Sounds pretty cut and dry.
Well, there's victims on both sides. It's just kind of all around.
Have you ever seen an attack yourself? Have you ever seen a person be attacked by a caiman or
have you
some
been
sort of
attacked?
like animal of any kind? Yeah.
I have been attacked.
Oh dear.
And it's sort of like when you're dealing with a bear, you want to make yourself as large and as loud as possible.
With a caiman.
So in my show, I'm always rigged up with a microphone, and I've got some powerful decibels behind me if I need it. And
Yeah.
Fortunately, during the show, the smoke guy that kind of tames them
Yeah.
all sprays of smoke in their face.
Yeah.
He wasn't there.
Oh
And
no, is he
so,
sick?
This Caiman got a little wild on us, but I just turned up my volume and sang the middle bridge to Raspberry Crawl.
Squeeze.
Did it work?
Let me tell you something about. Can we talk about songwriting? I'm here in Nashville. I'm pitching some songs.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's pivot.
Well,
Honestly, this is a very loose thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell
Well,
us your experience in Nashville these past couple days.
it's been pretty good. I'll get back to the Cayman story, but anyways,
I'm just glad you're okay.
It goes hand in
Okay,
hand. And the thing about a country song is you need three parts to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're familiar with the song "Don't Take the Girl."
Oh, sure.
Well, now you take a phrase and you apply it to somebody's life in 3 stages of their life.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
don't take a baby, don't take a teenager, don't let somebody die. They take
Yeah.
that phrase and
yeah.
Don't take the girl.
exactly. So that's rule number 1.
3 phases of life.
Number 1, do not take a girl.
Take a phrase, superimpose it on the 3 stages of your life.
Okay.
Uh,
Any phrase?
Any phrase that will.
Dime a dozen.
ooh,
Oh,
that's hard.
that's tough.
Life in the fast lane?
Oh.
Life in the fast lane.
I feel like that's been done.
Sure to make you lose your mind. You're right. You're right.
Have you had any good meetings?
Don't get eaten by a bear.
Speaking of people getting eaten by bears, though, that was one of ours, right?
That's one of them.
Have you ever heard of Timothy Treadwell, Tracy?
Is that the
That's Grizzly
the
Man.
Yes, I
Yeah.
saw that movie. That was.
Any thoughts on that?
You want to feel for the guy, but it's.
I can't say I disagree.
It seems pretty cut and dry. When you play with fire, you're gonna get singed.
Cannot say I disagree there.
When you
And
when you invite a bear into your tent, he is going to get into the tent and eat you and your
I don't
girlfriend.
know if you guys have ever seen a shaved bear before.
Yes. No, I have.
Oh, have you?
Yes, Google shaved bear.
Okay.
I'm not joking.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Okay, this is fucked up.
So a shaved bear. So what we're looking at right now, we've been told that we pull up images, we react like that, and then we move on. So I will describe. Shaved bear looks.
It looks like a cat that's really, really, really,
It
really
looks
sick.
like if a aardvark's nose got cut off and he was an Elvis impersonator.
Okay, real talk. It is a man in a skin suit wearing like one of the like Donnie Darko bunny masks,
Yeah.
kind of.
I think this is where the chupacabra came from. Look at that.
I see it.
It looks like a menace.
Do you
See,
have
now
any
that's what I like.
chupacabras? Yeah.
Well, that's what I like about reptiles. What you see is what you get.
I've never.
There's
Yeah.
nothing hiding under.
There's nothing hiding. There's no
What
balls.
you see is what you get. And
There's no scrotum.
They shed their skin though.
Do they have a cloaca? Do you know anything about their reproductive?
You're talking about chickens now.
Well, chickens are evolved from dinosaurs, so don't they have like reptilian ancestry in a way?
I'm Googling it.
Yeah.
There is a port from which several things
Emerge.
It's a multi-purpose port.
So you were talking about something about songwriting a second ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry to get off on. I'm here in Nashville.
I love having time with you here on the show, so I want to let you talk it out.
I'm not necessarily plugging anything because we're wrapping up our show.
Okay. Oh, really?
But yeah, a good friend of mine, Terry Clark. I'm staying at her Airbnb. And
Nice.
actually, I rode a bird scooter in from Brentwood, and I'm on about 5% battery. So if somebody could run me back down to...
I have my phone charger. I have my charger that you can borrow.
That's like 35 miles away.
Do you remember where the Hollywood video used to be down in Brentwood?
Yes.
That's kind of where I need to be. I don't know what it is now. I think it's like a Publix or something. But...
Are you playing like a gig or anything?
Yeah, playing out.
Are you at Tin Roof too?
I'm doing a songwriter's round at Puffy Muffin.
Yeah. That sounds good. Tuesday at midnight?
Tuesday at midnight.
Right on. Okay.
I'm used to these wild hours.
Oh, man. My favorite Terry Clark song is Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me.
Oh, that's a good one. She's really talented.
Good one. So, next attack that I think is a classic beauty, and a classic drama queen, Cleopatra and that ass.
Oh.
Back that ass up. I hate myself. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a lot to say about it. I feel like you can't talk about famous animal attacks and not talk about that. She was well-educated, clever, and beautiful, according to this listicle I found.
Here's the thing about Cleopatra that has always fascinated me is the like amount that her beauty and everything has been built up.
She
was a Ptolemy, and that was like her parents were like brother and sister. It's like she was so deeply a product of like royal incest that I think she was her own cousin. Like there's no way she didn't have like...
So, have you ever seen is it Tutankhamun that they've like done?
That poor boy. Yes, I know. And like his spine was fused together.
Looks like Salacious Crumb from Return of the Jedi. He's got like a real big thorax.
Yeah. That poor boy. That poor man. Yeah.
Thorax. You're speaking my language now.
Poor pitiful.
Do you have any advice for Cleopatra? Like, was an asp the good way to go if you're going to try to kill yourself by a snake?
I have a follow-up question too.
It's a strong venom. It's a very violent way to go, but also a very quick way to go.
Is it poetic?
Oh, it's very poetic.
Yeah.
The asp carries a lot of meaning, especially in that culture.
Yeah.
Ancient Egyptian culture, yeah.
Much better way to go than an alligator. Now, again, it's...
I don't think I'll argue again.
So I'm reading a little bit about this. Some say an asp was concealed in a basket of figs. This is just so classic Egyptian.
They're not building pyramids. They are constantly hauling in baskets of figs.
It was hauled in, that was brought to her by a bucolic and found it after eating a few figs. She held out her arm for it to bite. Others say that it was hidden in a pot, of course, and then she poked it with a rod until it got angry enough to bite her on the arm.
That seems more accurate to me, that you really would have to fuck with it a lot before it struck. Is that accurate to your experience? Do you need to like get in a snake's face, or are they just going to naturally want to kill you?
It is. You don't want to blow in their face unless it's smoke. Again, smoke has a kind of a calming effect.
Now, what about Juul? What about juuling?
Vape, yeah, vape.
Yeah, can you do vape cloud into their face? Do they like that? Or
there's a certain
flavors.
There's a certain monoxide level that
it's necessary.
It hits their receptors, especially a reptile.
Okay, good to know.
What receptors is that?
Well, I've never proclaimed to be any kind of, well, I don't even know the name of what you call somebody that studies reptiles. A herpetologist?
That's poisonous ones, all right, isn't it?
I don't know.
So this lady, actually, I'll look it up because I think it's poisonous ones because my next person, none of you guys know her. I learned about her today, but I feel like it's topical. Grace Olive Wiley. She looks really cool in this picture. We'll share it. was an American herpetologist known for her work with venomous snakes. While she was posing with an Indian cobra for a photographer, the camera's flash spooked the snake and it bit Wiley. She was taken to the hospital, but unfortunately the only vial of antivenom which was available for this snake was accidentally broken and she died.
That is like... So, okay, my first question is this the picture that killed her?
I don't know. I kind of hope so. So we have a picture of this woman. She's just like an older, honestly, kind of beautiful older woman from the 40s.
Yeah,
It looks like it's latched on her neck.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, I think this could literally be the last photo of this woman alive.
She appears to be wearing very fine jewels, and she looks pretty baller.
She's dressed in like a velvet 40s gown.
Yeah.
Also, probably like didn't even know what flash photography was.
Oh yeah.
She's like, well, of course I'll pose for a photograph.
60s,
that sounds so queer. And then, because that's how she talked. I also love too that
The vial.
Well, I love too that like this lady we are not talking about her as a famous herpetologist. There's probably not that many ladies that do it. Not now, at least.
We've got a lady named Wanda, and again, she's not a trained, but
Right.
as far as the
Of course.
street smarts with reptiles, I mean, she.
Where do you learn that?
Have you seen that movie? It's based on a real woman that like she whispers to horses, and she's
Oh.
The horse whisperer.
the horse whisperer. Is that no? That's a romantic movie. This is based on somebody real.
Is it Wild Hearts Can't Be Tamed?
Can't be broken.
Broken?
Claire Danes, I think.
I don't know.
Oh, is it
Temple Grandin.
Temple Grandin?
Yes, she is the Temple Grandin of
Gator World.
Gator World, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't.
Wanda is the Temple Grandin of Gator World.
I can't read an alligator's eyes. To me, it's just black pools of just
Chaos and anger.
ancient chaos and.
It's looking into the void to look
But
into an alligator's eyes.
She can sense, varying levels of anger. It's
Seems like they're always angry.
they are. It's a 1 to 10 scale, and it's always on.
It's always at least a 7.
Man.
Like a content gator is riding at a 5 on the anger scale.
Wanda sounds like our own Grace Wiley of today.
She
man.
does. So yeah, I really wanted to point it out because I stumbled upon her today looking up on my work computer violent animal attacks, and she was top of the list. Let's see. So we talked about Gator Man, not Gator Man, sorry, Grizzly Man, your Gator Man, Cleopatra. I mean, really, I feel like we're rounding up to
The big one.
The big one.
The big one. The daddy of all animal attacks.
yeah. And I feel like before we talk about the incident, let's just talk about the man.
I think that's a really good call.
Yeah.
What are your memories, Jamie, of Steve Irwin?
Steve Irwin. I liked Steve Irwin.
I loved the show.
Loved him. So I was just like, he's kind of one of those figures that I think his body of work does transcend the incident that ended his life.
Concur.
He was the same man off the camera as he was on.
Yeah, did you ever meet him?
Limited experience, but yes, he was a very.
You met
standout
him.
Because similar
individual.
fields you guys are in, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was just vacationing, but
In Branson.
no, this was at Gatorland.
Okay.
What a God! This guy was always on. So I liked him. I thought his wife Terry was
just the
beautiful.
whole-
Like
Gorgeous.
another amazing Terry here.
Yeah. I liked him. I liked Steve Irwin. It was sad when he died.
I know.
You don't have too many people die of the thing that they do.
Also, I read
Except for who's the race car driver?
oh
Sorry.
Dale
Talking about Dale Senior.
Yeah.
Dale Senior changed the laws permanently for racing.
Is that so?
It is.
Wear your seatbelt.
You gotta wear this certain kind of harness.
I will say it's ironic that he died doing what he did, but it wasn't with because he was a crocodile guy, right?
Oh yeah, Steve. Oh, you were talking about Dale
Steve,
Senior,
no.
and I was very concerned.
I mean, it would be truly ironic if it were a crocodile, but
Right.
a stingray was just out of left field.
Yeah, I
That was out of left field.
completely agree.
Probably quite literally for him.
I think too, like the stingray was a surprising animal to have
Yes.
killed someone because those are things that you can like pet.
You can pet them.
Yeah.
Probably at Gator World.
Yes, we have a tank.
I've touched. I have no
They're very
doubt.
cute, honestly.
They're adorable. So I didn't know this detail until today. So Bindi, his daughter, had a show, and he was actually getting footage for her show.
Fuck.
I know.
Well, live with that little girl. It's terrible. It's awful. I'm
kidding. She seems
that's
great.
So sad. That's so
I know.
sad.
What
That's
a-
so
Could you
sad.
imagine?
It just makes me wonder if you were able to blow smoke underwater. If he could have calmed that stingray, because
I know that you're happy making money in Branson doing what you do, but if you can figure that out, Tracy.
well, it may not translate to marine life in the way that it does to reptiles, but we won't know until we try.
Yeah. You know, and this could be a big door opening for vaping too. Like, who knows? Who
They may
knows?
get that little apple going, apple out of that jewel. So anyway, Steve, the biggie, beautiful man, beautiful soul.
Australian, red as fuck, like a tomato. That man looked like a
So-
tomato wearing a like Lego man hair. you know?
Yes. Also, it allows us to talk about how shitty Bill Maher is. Because do you remember like that he went, like it was like the next year.
I don't remember
He
this.
for Halloween went as Steve Irwin with a stingray
I
tail.
have so many reasons to hate Bill Maher, and you just gave me another one.
Another
Thank
one.
you.
I know.
Throw it
He's-
on the pile.
Like I'll never forget it.
Fuck that guy.
I know. Though we are. But we're you're
but
being
here's why
reverent
it's different. We're funny.
and pretty.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Tracy, do you have a few more minutes
If you have
with
time.
us?
I'd love to stay around. I appreciate y'all letting me come in and share what little
I mean,
expertise
we
I know.
didn't let you in, but
well,
Walked in. I didn't even know you
the
were
door was
here.
open.
The door was not open. The
I've
door
found
was
my
not
way.
open.
I'm concerned. But will you stay for the bag of a bag of hotties
Well,
to
like I
Belinda
say,
tell you about it?
I need a ride, so I'm here for first person.
We'll talk about it after the bag. We'll talk about it after the bag. So yeah.
bag of hotties. We literally, you can see it, Tracy. You can hold us to account. Bag filled with pieces of paper. We pull out a random name. We do not know what it is, and we just have to riff on their hotness and all that kind of stuff. So who we got?
First name out of the bag, Kanye West.
Oh,
Controversial figure.
via Beth.
Yes.
Thank you, Beth. I'm over.
Here's the thing.
He's done.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
look,
done. It's not funny. It's not cute.
He is not a well man. He went crazy when his
Yeah.
mother died. He obviously has problems.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by enablers. He probably is a drug addict. I think he is like a musical genius, and I think genius and craziness. Like,
Yeah. Here's the deal. I do agree with all of that. I will say though that I mean the whole family is canceled. I know plenty of people with mental illness who do not do what he's doing.
No, and
So
that's the
my
enablers thing. That's
I know.
the enablers thing. It's like he's surrounded himself by people who can't tell him no. He's surrounded by
Right.
people who, and you know what? That's something that you do to yourself.
And can't enforce that he take care of himself. But
Yeah.
still,
It's not an excuse.
I just don't think that being mentally ill is an excuse to be
Also,
that.
he's one of the kind of people where he's had like really great success in like one field, and so he thinks he's fucking genius at everything. At everything.
I
He
will
can do
say those
everything.
sweatpants are pretty comfortable. I have a pair.
You have them.
I do have a
You
pair.
Yeezys.
I do have
Yeah,
some
Yeezys.
Yeezys.
Is Yeezy
those are
Yeezy gear very
expensive.
popular in Florida and Branson?
He's known for sure. I mean, it's definitely a name that people know when you think of hip hop.
So, I don't really want to get too political, but I would say that Branson caters to different demographics, all different kinds of people. But I would imagine that there's
It's a little more of a conservative
Maybe a
crowd,
little more
generally.
conservative.
Just a skosh.
It is, but Kanye is such a marquee name. Now, I want to speak to his talent because as a musician,
He
is.
no doubt. I love a lot of his
I've
catalog.
spent 30 years trying to find good hooks. Now, he can just grab them out of the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
like a brass ring.
Yeah.
Now, Raspberry Squeeze had 15 co-writers, and that's the Nashville system. That's just how it is.
It is what it is.
Everybody gets a piece of the pie.
What would you do if Kanye wanted to sample Raspberry Squeeze? Would you let him?
I would be
honored.
As long as I'm getting a cut of the, I would be honored. And if he didn't manipulate it in a way that portrayed a message that would go against Tracy's Country Christmas.
Well, that goes without saying. I think
That's my premier thing now. That's my number one. Right behind the Caimans.
Tremendous.
That's great.
I pulled another name out. This is actor Peter Dinklage.
Ooh.
I think he's very cute. I think
he's very cute.
I don't think he can do accents.
No, his accent isn't good, but I've had a little crush on him since The Station Agent.
I was going to say, have you seen The Station Agent? And Bobby, everyone's hot in The Station Agent.
I know.
He has a way of carrying himself that is, it's a certain confidence that, belies his character.
That's what a beautiful way to put it.
That's lovely.
He is a very talented man, and it goes to show that physical stature is not necessarily the most.
It's an attitude.
It's an attitude.
The rest is just details.
Amen.
Exactly.
Amen, Tracy.
I feel like this is going to be a good
one?
one. I have a lot to say about this. Paul Newman and Robert Redford and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Top of their game.
Yeah.
Hotties upon hotties.
I'm a Paul girl. over Robert,
Same,
personally.
Same. Paul Newman, I have a really distinct memory of being a younger, probably like 14, 15, and just getting this like devastating crush on young Paul Newman. And then it really, I knew this, but then it really like locking in that he was elderly and going to die, and that he was married and really happy. And I remember crying in my room.
Joanne Woodward.
Yeah. They were super in love with each other. Like real feisty and like a real like evening shade kind of sexy way. Yeah, just
good film.
Hot dude. You know, I don't really like
I guess I've seen it.
Remember the movie?
I mostly think of Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
Yeah. What are your
thoughts? To be honest,
it's a Burt Bacharach score.
It
That's
is.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a two talented actors. Paul Newman's work with Charity, and now I think it's a little disingenuous to use that image for his salad dressing. I think they should use something that's a little more...
Like what?
Well, not current, but obviously you can't do current, but...
Like a skull.
A skull, though?
It's macabre.
Let's maybe...
Or is it innovative?
Let's maybe go mid-70s.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right.
Like maybe Color of Money.
Right.
Paul. We should have updated this.
What about like Hudsucker Proxy Paul? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Do you want to pull a name out of the bag?
Oh my God. I think he's our first. No. Never mind.
This is an honor.
You're our third or fourth guest to do this.
There may be parts of this that show up in my show next year.
Oh.
What? We would be honored if we could get some.
We have got
Now,
to get tickets.
If I could work a nativity bag of hotties somehow, that's that.
Like you just reach into like the manger.
Okay, this is a concept. In memoriam segments.
Oh, that's a real. Does it have a name on it?
No, just in general.
Okay.
That's great.
That is a wonderful. I'm like shocked.
I'm shocked that listeners are smart.
Okay, so no. I'm just. This is. I really need to gather my thoughts for a minute.
I'll go
my
because
God.
I love just talking about shit I don't know anything about. No, I love them.
I love them too because I like what clips are pulled for certain people.
I do too.
That's fascinating to me, like what the legacy is.
Yes. I love to think of the editing and like the choices and like who's gonna sing. Like I like the ones where like they're like, we're gonna get Mary J. Blige.
I like the ones where it's like, this is a person important enough to where we can actually play a clip from the movie. It's like you can hear like Sidney Poitier's voice.
Right. And then it's like Janet Johnson, sound editor.
Yeah, I know. God bless.
From a showbiz perspective, they should leave. Well, they should leave the producers to the technical side that's not televised. Nobody wants to see the producers.
Nobody wants to think about those guys.
Camera persons and sound editors. And
they deserve their due, but that's a behind the scenes.
Now, what about the writers? Like what if let's say
as a songwriter yourself,
let's say if heaven forbid 14 of the 15 writers of Raspberry Squeeze were in maybe like a plane crash.
Well, no, there's a technical Grammys ceremony for that. There's a place for everything, and
Yeah, why don't we get to see
John
that
John
one?
Q audience member doesn't really care who these people are, and you got to put on a good show. That 20 years in Branson, that's my takeaway. You got
That
to put on a
is
good show.
bold.
Thank you. Yeah.
I love this one. This is a good one.
Unless it's like a really weird looking guy that's like really big eyebrows, and you want to figure out who it is later. But
I will say that I saw one recently. I want to say it was even the Oscars last year. They didn't really play clips, and I was pissed. Like when they choose not to do it, I'm like angry.
I wish other industries did it. Like if you went to just like a convention for secretaries, and it's just like, oh man, Eleanor, Bethany, fuck, gone too soon, you know?
I didn't know Soul Surfer was a secretary. I didn't know she had that in her past. One more. Let's do one more.
Tracy?
Oh, yeah, Tracy, do
the honors.
oh, thank you very much.
I think you got the magic touch.
Well, another concept.
Who is it?
Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a great
I love
one.
Mary Tyler Moore. I love...
Speaking of Memoriams.
God, immediately.
Wait a minute.
Wait, no.
Is she dead?
No, she's with us. Mary's with us. Is she?
Do you know, I immediately thought she was dead too.
No.
I'm like, I love her. I have no idea. Yeah, she died.
what the fuck?
She died last year. Wake up.
I wasn't paying attention to anything.
You're
last
thinking
year.
of Carol Burnett.
Yeah,
Thank you, that's
she
it.
died during
Wow.
she died during the run of Country Christmas 2017.
Well, I'm fucked up now. I didn't know she was dead.
Well, in memoriam.
In memoriam.
Let's play a
Let
clip.
me just play a clip of Mary Tyler Moore show,
We
tossing
could do-
that hat forever into the sky. She was... I mean, I like TV, and she did a lot of TV. She's
Yeah.
an iconic lady television show. She wore trousers
Can you
as
believe
a housewife.
it? You know,
Innovative.
I was always more of a Candace Bergen, you know, just later on breaking boundaries. Mary Tyler Moore, you grew up like on the T.
I grew up on her dick, like for real. Like I fucking love Mary Tyler Moore, and I'm really upset that I didn't know she was dead. Like this is not cool. I went to fucking I want to go to Minneapolis.
crying?
Like I'm about to cry. Like it's really upsetting. Like I want to go. There's a I went to the Bewitched statue in Salem. Now I want to go to Minneapolis, St. Paul, and go to the Mary statue.
Now, that's not the one that's messed up, is it? No, I'm thinking of Lucille Ball. You know what I'm
I
talking
know
about?
the statue. Yeah, no, that's... We'll share that. We'll share that image. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Just wait till she gets to Minneapolis.
Now,
And
buddy,
Prince's passed.
Now, a buddy of mine is a sculptor, and he did a statue that's on 65 as you're going back down Brentwood.
Oh, Lord,
You know what I'm talking about?
Guys, thank you. This has been Hot Minute. HOTTminute.com. Brought to you by the We Own This Town theme music by Upright T-Rex, Tracy Walnut.
Theme song
Thank you
this
so
week.
much.
Thank you, Tracy, for being our guest.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome back anytime.
Anytime.
We'll get Michael to give you a ride home.
Michael?
Let's write a New Jack Swing song.
Okay.
It's probably really easy.